Welcome to the third edition of Movie Nerds Club. This month, we're talking about the top 5 Dreamworks animated movies, and I'm the last person to put this video up. I'm very late to this, so you should totally go check out Rachel Wagner's, Elsie's Screen Talks, Mainly Movies, and Ryan Camp's videos, which are already over on their channels and linked in the description. So now you've heard their wrong takes on this, so now get a load of the correct top 5. I'm only kidding, of course. So without any further ado, let's talk about it. And before we get to the proper top 5, I want to remind you that you are the most important part of these topics. So share your top 5 in the comments below, and please do support everyone else's videos, but also my own. If you like what you see, please remember to subscribe, to like the video, to share with your friends, and to ask for their top 5 Dreamworks animated movies. I gotta stop hitting my microphone, man. And now to honorable mentions, which I only have 2, because apart from my top 5, I only love 2 other Dreamworks movies. My first honorable mention is for the Puss in Boots movie, which I love, and I have the unpopular opinion of thinking it's the best out of the Shrek movies. Even though it's not quote-unquote an official Shrek movie, it's the best one for me. It's the funniest one. I love Antonio Banderas, and I love the little cat that throughout the movie goes, ooh. My other honorable mention is the first Kung Fu Panda, a film so funny, so irreverent, but also so profound in its themes and how it explores them, and how it takes this very old familiar stereotype but actually elevates it into something meaningful. At number 5, we have Megamind, which is just such a funny movie. I think it is so underrated. I think it is probably DreamWorks' most funny movie. A film that if it were to come out today, it wouldn't be doing anything new. But this movie came out 10 years ago. It is so funny, so clever, so ahead of its time, really, with what it does with the superhero and most importantly the supervillain formula. The voice cast is sensational. The animation is still gorgeous, just like it is for the other 2 movies I've already mentioned. At number 4, we have Rise of the Guardians, which is a film that should have given life to an entire new franchise of DreamWorks animated films. But the box office, for some reason, didn't justify that. It worked critically. Everyone I talked to about this film really likes it or loves it. This literally was marketed, and it actually lives up to that marketing of being the Avengers for children, with the Easter Bunny, with Santa Claus, with the Tooth Fairy, with Jack the Frost. And Jack the Frost is an awesome protagonist, and how they all come together and how they are presented as these like super beings and superheroes in this reality is really well done. And the interpretations for these, I want to say legends? Maybe these legends of children's fantasy are so unique, and I love the look of this. The animation, the Sandman with its spreading a sand for the dreams of everyone looks so gorgeous, and I love Jude Law as the villain. Even though as a character Pitch Black or the Boogeyman, he's actually the weakest part of the film. I just think everyone is on point. Chris Pine as Jack Frost, Alec Baldwin as Santa, Hugh Jackman as the Easter Bunny. Just everything works on a sensational level in this film for me, and I wish we would have gotten sequels if the box office had justified it, which it should have, because this came out in the year that the Avengers came out, and this was basically another Avengers movie. Who doesn't want more Avengers? At number 3, we have the peak of a trilogy with Kung Fu Panda 2. I love the first one. I really like the third one, but this one just is on a whole nother level. The story has a great continuation to it. There are layers that are unveiled in this film that there weren't in the first film. I love seeing the 5 work together so well. I love the journey that Poe goes into. It is just so emotional on so many levels, this film, and it's just awesome. The comedy continues to not just be a copy of what the first one did, but a continuation of it. Let's find out more about these characters and have fun with it, but also show some really profound exploration of certain themes. And unlike the previous movie that I talked about, this one probably has one of the best DreamWorks villains, with Gary Oldman as Shan the Peacock, which is a very menacing but at the same time hilarious villain. And not only the villain, but the film as a whole has this really good balance of humor and drama, and it just flows seamlessly, and I never stop being surprised by this film no matter how many times I see it. At number 2, we have a classic, The Prince of Egypt, a film that to this day holds up visually, holds up musically. These songs are just entrenched in my head since childhood. They're epic, they're grandiose, and I love the characters. I love how filled with shades of gray they both are. This film is a film that is a faith movie done in the right way. It picks up faith and explores how both these characters see faith and believing in something. This film shows that it's not being preachy about the faith in God specifically. It's doing it well in the sense that Moses, as the hero, is someone that believes in something bigger than himself and more important than himself. And Ramses is just someone that believes in what he was taught to believe. He was indoctrinated into this belief that he's the God, he's the Almighty, he's the thing that everyone and everything should worship and bow down to. And the dichotomy between these two is so well established in the sense of how much they love each other, that when that bond is challenged and broken, you feel all the more for it. It's also directed in a very cinematic way. Like, it's insane how they were directing an animated movie like this in 1998. And at number 1, I told you all I would cheat, and it's the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy. I love all these 3 movies. I might consider the second one the best one, but nothing will ever beat my first time watching the first one in the theaters. Think it was just a fine animated movie going in and being utterly shocked. The hype going to the second one was immense. It didn't disappoint. And even though I do think that might be the best movie out of the 3, my personal favorite might be The Hidden World, which is such a mature finale for this 10-year-long journey, or 19 if you want to be specific, because the third one came out in 2019, the first one came out in 2010. It is such a harrowing, beautiful, heartfelt, sincere journey that you go on with these characters. It is honestly one of my favorite trilogies of all time in the history of movies, whether it's animated or not. This is a trilogy that just does everything right for me. The characters, the story, the directions they go, how it's executed. They don't pull any punches. They are welcoming kids, but this is not quote-unquote for children. This is a very mature adult take on the tough choices in life and growing up, and sometimes thinking of something bigger than yourself. And I love these movies for it because the lessons in it are so important, so well handled, and there's just so many levels to it. And come on, Toothless is just the cutest, isn't he? How couldn't I put him at number 1? So that's my top 5 animated DreamWorks movies. Let me know what you think of my top 5, and again, do share yours, because that's the most important part. Thank you so much, everyone, for checking out another edition of Movie Nerds Club. Remember to go check out everyone else's videos if you haven't. And until next month, please don't forget to continue sharing your support for our little club, but also each of our individual channels as well. Stay tuned for more videos in the next days to come. I hope to see you in those. And so until then, stay beautiful, stay geek, and please do not forget to subscribe, to like, to share, because it really helps me and the channel out. But most importantly, above everything else, forever and always, love each other and love the movies.